All right, guys, here we're talking about Daredevil Season 3, Episode 5.
My first note is Dex is a literal crazy person.
Yeah. Well, we kind of had the inkling into that throughout his introduction as a character, but now, he's card carrying.
That's the most interesting part of that note for myself, though, is in retrospect, right? Because they show him literally stalking someone, right?
Yeah.
And he was kind of a weird guy, and this like amazing fighting like dude or like whatever.
Yes.
But I still in this episode, right in the beginning, and like what? So he has some like OCD or something like that. Somehow it took that to make me write down he's literally a crazy person. I don't know why. And I really hated the shot of him dipping back into the apartment to fix the painting.
I hated it so much because not only did he have to like hear the painting move or something, but to come back and fix it. And it just felt like they were trying to really be on the nose with everything in that opening sequence.
It was like a comedy, cut. It was a weird cut, right? And I hated it. By the end, I'd come to not hate it as much, but I still hate the fact that he still closed the door just as hard the second time.
Yeah.
It bothered me a lot.
Didn't gain anything there.
I spent the next 40 minutes just focusing on that and being bothered by it. Not really.
I guess that he's like the Dexter type, where he is a cold and calculated type man. Doesn't actually have feelings, has to fake it. And
I didn't call it out, but he kept reusing the phrase "that's hard," "that's really hard," or whatever, right? And that stuck with me. And the minute him and his therapist use it, was like, oh, it was this awesome thing, because it felt like a little weird. But I thought like he's kind of a weird guy. It's fine. But now there's so much more to it, and I love when shows do that.
Yeah, and
something from 2 episodes ago.
I didn't dislike it. I wasn't entirely sure. So as they were exploring this was Fisk going through like his charts and stuff, and that's how we learned a lot of these things. But like the baseball one, I'm like, what was he reading or learning there? Like how and I was glad he never interacted with the boy. There was never like a talk thing.
When he sat down next to him
I was
on the
worried
bench,
it was going to be a thing like that, like to show you his learning. Me and him are going to have a conversation. No, and they didn't do that.
I was afraid when he sat down on the bench that he was going to start talking. You like baseball or something like that?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh no. But I called it out in my notes like various times. I loved that whole treatment. I feel like you would have said it's like pretentious maybe or whatever, but the whole black and white with Fisk in there and then
that all worked for
the
me.
Sets changing like around, so it was like a mixture of the room and the whole thing, right? You kind of went into Fisk's mind palace or whatever. You kind of got to see him how he does it.
It worked effectively to communicate what was happening. It was also like a very cheap way of doing it. So it worked.
Totally.
I just wasn't sure what was he looking at or reading or listening to to get that conversation about the baseball and giving him the mitt and like all that stuff, because that doesn't feel like anything that would be.
I mean, stuff he told his therapist or whatever. I just took it like maybe it's fine. It's like
I don't know
whatever I don't know.
I guess.
The minute he's like throwing the ball in like exactly the same spot or whatever, I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen or something like that. And
he has some powers.
He's Bullseye, right?
That would be my guess.
Yes, he has the hat on with the fucking bullseye. I fucking freaked out. I was so happy. I was like, Jesus Christ, because I haven't seen anything about Bullseye since Colin Farrell. Or whatever. I never read any Daredevil.
I wonder if they can actually ever say or do anything,
like
or if the most they can do is the allusion, like I alluded to the idea, and is that a bullseye there? And because
I'm all over.
I know they were on the fence about payments and names and this and that, but I'm like, I guess they could have a guy who's who has good aim, and not. Be directly taking a character.
We just talked recently about the whole universe and the future of the stuff. In our Iron Fist, series finale review, link in the description. It will not be in the description. But like we talked about, like you have to pay like a certain amount for each of these main characters, right? But then like we're not sure how it works. When you buy, do you buy the whole universe? How does Elektra fit in? You have some of these side characters that are technically in the comics, and you're having the actors hop around, but like I doubt you have to chip in extra, right? Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
so, like,
could be anything.
What does the contract cover? What what does it not? Because you have Fisk, you have Elektra, you have various people. So maybe Bullseye's in there.
At what point are you a exclusive villain to a franchise or not?
Right, exactly. So, but that's great. I don't know how. I assume this has nothing to do with Bullseye from the comic books or how his origin went or his history or whatever.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what his origin was, so I couldn't tell you.
But I fucking love this stuff because this is literally because I don't know anything either. All I know is Colin Farrell and that Bullseye and the fact that there is a dude called Bullseye. So to have him have that hat on and be throwing the baseball in exactly the same spot over and over again, and then you click,
and kill him with a ricochet.
Yeah, well, okay, it's like literally like the stuff from that Ben Affleck Daredevil movie where he kills the one with like the peanut but like bouncing stuff off of things and all. It was like literally. So like whether or not it's a reference to the comics, it resonates with like the pop culture understanding that I would have of him, right?
Sure.
Like it's perfect. So like even if they don't go any further, like because it clicks back to when he killed all those people and just took care of everything, right? He shoots the guy like through the back window of that van and all that, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
It all makes perfect sense now. And finally, after all this time, where I'm like, does he have powers? And no one ever has powers. Finally, someone has some sort of like powers, whatever you want to call it.
I feel like recently, almost everyone has had powers where it's like, does this person have powers? It's like, yep, the Trish have powers. Yeah, we all have powers.
Oh no, it's like Trish was the other one, but I hated it or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
And there was a whole plot line about her trying to get powers or whatever. But whenever they run into anyone, right, when like Davos or like Luke Cage or like anyone would do anything, they'd be like, oh, I bet the leader of that gang has power. Oh, no, he's like a bloodstain. Never mind. No, he doesn't have any powers. I'm sorry. Like that whole thing, right? The Shades have no. Shades doesn't have any powers. He's just a
Shades. That was on purpose.
He's just lucky. I don't know, right? Yes. Anyway. But a lot of times devoted to this. Going back, the therapist.
Yeah.
He's a straight up psycho. He's an actual like literal. She writes it down. He's an actual borderline personality psychopath. Doesn't have empathy, and I loved that. It seemed like she was like, oh no. I like her like ego almost about like she can teach him and fix him like a Dexter thing.
Yeah,
it contributed to him being like unleashed on the world and like not properly, right? Because she's like remember the rules. We talked about this. Don't kill me, please. Like that whole thing or whatever, right?
I love that. Like,
that's
though
awesome.
I want to kill you because you're dying.
Yes, want to kill you for dying or whatever. Yeah, it's wonderful.
That.
No, it's great. It's actually great because she gave him the tools to like exist in the world and like set all this up. Right?
Yes.
Because she was like, let's play a little game. Let's like figure this out. I can handle this.
You think he's like a really smart character too, like FBI agents and that, but like he drops so many balls like during that conversation with this girl he likes. He's been stalking her for how long? And like he just starts dropping information. Like, come on, man, are you kidding me?
So I wrote that down too. Like, so like Fisk sets up. He like gets the lady he's stalking to work at the hotel.
Yeah.
Where Dex happens to be hanging out, obviously, and they end up having a little hangout later date, informal thing, and it goes horribly. Right, just as Fisk planned, apparently. What if they just hit it off and it would have been great? Would that have helped? He
knows he's a psycho.
He would have had to have killed her, I guess. That
was
going to be my thing.
Even if he does hit her off, he would be like, okay, I now have something over you. If I threaten to kill this girl, you're going to do what I say.
He could have rolled with it no matter what, yeah. So that's Fisk's plan, right? So we get some other backfill there. He's like, the city needs a villain. So he can be the hero again.
I did love how things played out because like I was saying after that prison encounter, I'm like, well, he can never be Matt Murdock again. He's burned, and now it's like, yep.
Well, I figured you'd say that, but not because of anything else besides Fisk doing it on purpose. It wasn't what happened at the prison. It was that Fisk lied about something else.
No, but it's what happened at the prison with his bare face. That was the whole thing I was saying. It was never specifically that he was at the prison that he burned himself. It was that everything happening, being caught on camera, people knowing who you are and what you can do. That's what burned you.
Specifically, Fisk knowing. If you had said, "Oh, Fisk is gonna be able to attack Matt Murdock now," I'd have been like, "Of course." But,
that's what I meant by you can't be Matt Murdock anymore.
Sure.
So like I love that because that makes everything so much more interesting for the season because he's up against Cop, he's up against people, he's up against Fisk, whatever else gets sent his way.
And I love Fisk doing it where they're in this meeting where he's like where they're kind of like debating like what kind of privileges do you get? Hey, he's been cooperative and he's like I have another tidbit. Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
And that kicks off all this awesome stuff.
I did one of those like Yeah!
Woo! Yeah, because he actually has the whole spiel now or whatever. And like the degree to which the lawyer's in on it, I'll be brief here, but like he's like, I brought an audiobook, right? Because he has to be in there with his client for the cameras to be off the whole time. Fisk is mind palancing or whatever, and he's like, he sees the footage of Matt Murdock, right? So this one lawyer, this like Johnny Cochran dude, he knows all this different stuff.
Yeah,
he knows about like the Jamaican guy, like he knows all these things.
Well, he's known every criminal ever,
yeah,
so
amazing.
he's fine.
Yeah. No. I don't mean that he's not fine. I just mean like he's one of those characters like Turk who's been exposed to this world to such
He reminds me of the more like realistic, grounded in reality. Was it Jackie Childs from Seinfeld? Was like the lawyer who was the fake Johnny Cochran.
Yes,
but he's like once removed. So like I would compare him not to Johnny Cochran, but to that guy.
Yeah, he's like a real version of fake Johnny Cochran.
Yes.
Print that on. Okay. Yeah. No. I like all that. What were we talking about?
In the thing, Matt's burned.
He's burning
he
him.
Can't be
that kicks off a whole thing where Agent. Am I saying his name wrong this whole time? Nadeem. Yeah. Goes. Like gets to go question everybody, and you get to see. I freaked out. I love this show so much. I love good television or whatever. Right? Wasn't that season 1 when she shoots that guy? And it like freaks her out. Karen shoots Fisk's man or whatever. And it's this whole thing. I think we went a full season without it coming up at all, right? And now it's coming up. The whole thing. There's a paper trail to that like shell company. There's like a dead man. That that was her gun. I think she ghosted it or whatever, but it's not the same gun, I hope. But like it's a whole thing, and she's worried about it, and she has to tell Foggy about it. All this stuff happens, right? Foggy's like running for office, and he's like, I'm getting hassled by this by the FBI, and then Karen comes in and confesses to murder. Matt stole my wallet. Like, oh my god! Like it's this one. It's so good. I love it.
I do feel bad for Foggy.
I know.
Because Foggy, like, I don't know if he's ever done anything wrong
his entire
in the show. But yeah, he does catch a lot of shit.
Yeah. And he flat out says to her, like this is like go to jail stuff. Like, what are we going to do? And she's like,
give me $5.
And she's
close
like,
enough.
And she's like, sit down. I have more to tell you. But I totally love that thing that Fisk is like doing to them, which happens. I think that's kind of thing used to happen. It became so cliche and like weird, where it's like, wait, so like an obvious bad guy just points the cops at someone and it just happens or whatever. Like that doesn't make any sense. But this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Where he's like, we have the invoice right here and this and that and all that stuff, and he can go through and actually pin them on all these things. Well, so when you said that, you weren't entirely truthful. And she's like, well, I meant knowingly. Like, it sounds shit. It sounds bad. It's like, so good. I'm like, fuck.
It works out beautifully. And I try to, like, jump forward in my head, like, well, how is everything going to get solved? And Fisk is working towards getting the walk around the hotel privilege, with escort. So I'm
Guess
like, okay, he'll get the escort of Dex. Dex will be in his pocket, and he'll be able to go and do whatever the crap he needs with, like, a personal bodyguard.
He was running shit from prison. Now he's on the penthouse of the hotel he owns with a superhuman assassin as his bodyguard. This is wonderful, right? But it didn't happen in this crazy, horrible way where you're like, would that really happen? Well, it's a TV show. I guess it's fine. It's been slowly.
No, it's a nice burn.
Weaving out. Like I say every season, and like I said last week, I forget how good Daredevil is compared to like most things, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did hear that season 4 got pitched, so potentially we'll hear a confirmation sometime soon. Just having that being remotely plausible.
Well, so pitched makes me look like a little alarmed still, right?
Well, so the idea that that we didn't hear this week saying it was canceled is already huge.
No news of cancellation is good news.
Yes.
I guess at this point. Yeah, I hope that, because like that was my favorite theory, was like, no, they're gonna pivot and they're gonna take their least successful-ish shows and maybe either give it back to Marvel to do like a PG-13 thing, and then lean into their Punisher, Daredevil, Rated R universe and keep that separate and just whatever, right? It's like,
we're gonna see.
Because like I'm sure Marvel is like, we have no plans for the Punisher right now. We are in like a PG world, and we do not want some dude killing everyone. And John Bernthal is great, and you guys just keep enjoying yourself over there on Netflix and like inadvertently plugging Marvel every time you do it. So leave us alone. Just keep paying us the flat fee. We're fine, right? I could see that happening.
Yeah. Not sure what we're gonna see, but hopefully we'll have a confirmed season 4 at some point soon.
Yeah, I would love this whole thing to continue. I'm not sure where this goes from here. Have you seen the spoiler with someone else wearing the Daredevil suit?
No, I haven't.
And do you now know that it's going to be Dex?
I have not seen anything about it.
Yes.
I like the idea. But
so like the Daredevil suit's missing, right?
Mainly it's who took it initially.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So if Kingpin didn't realize till just recently that Matt was doing anything, he couldn't have taken it. Sure. And if Foggy didn't take it, and
Karen was shocked that it was
didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
My only thought is that, but I think someone already said we're not getting a cameo from Danny.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
I'm extremely interested, right? Because that's because I could see it being like so Fisk knows that Matt's Daredevil, right? Mm-hmm. And he's destroying Matt Murdock, and then he's like, for the icing on the cake, I will also destroy Daredevil. And he has someone else wear the suit and go out and like
cause crimes,
murder old ladies with peanuts, and just smash everything, right? Oh, so good. I also liked something else.
What did you like?
So we kind of breezed through, like, how did Matt get out of the car, which is okay.
Yeah, which I almost think you had to. Just cause
it's fine. I did not want to get bogged down with that and figure out how he broke the window or, like, whatever, right? But I like
Wasn't the door just open when they pulled the car out?
Well, the front door was open. Was the back door open? Maybe.
I don't remember, actually. Maybe it was just the front door.
Yeah. Because I thought he was, like, looking through the little window, or not looking, sensing through the little cab window, like, I'm fucked. But, like, wet pile of clothes, Nadine touches it, yep, Sherlock Holmes, still wet or whatever, right? And then later in the episode you find out he was sleeping on the couch literally until the FBI literally got there. I love the backfilling to feel
on the roof in the cold and just like his sweatpants and a shirt
like chilling out up there. Oh, it's so good. That's so much better than showing us that the first time or like whatever.
Yeah,
right?
No, definitely.
Then you can avoid showing Matt until so much further on in the episode. It's wonderful. It's so well done.
No, it's very fun storytelling.
I can't speak highly enough of it. Basically,
is this a 10-episode season?
Oh, I have no idea. I did not check.
Yeah, I'm almost wanting it not to be because, like, this is, like, a lot of other shows you're kind of like, wrap it up. You're, like, fucking around too much. But this one I'm like, no, you have a lot of picture still to paint, and we're just really getting good into some of these characters, and if you want enough time for them to develop and become something fun, you want, like, a 12, 14.
Well, so if it's 13, maybe we can see episode 6. This was 5, I think. We can see it dip or whatever, if it's going to dip. But that was always the thing, right? With all these Netflix shows, there's an early set piece to wet your beak, and then it kind of dips. And you're like, okay, we have to go and the thing, and I see the files are missing, I don't know, and do this thing. And then it picks up for like 7 and 8 again, right? Or whatever, of like 10.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if it's 13, maybe that could still happen. But I see no signs of anything slowing down.
No, it keeps building. So, this is one of the more interesting seasons that we've had of the Marvel show. It's not even just Daredevil.
Oh, yeah. No, and so far there's even no signs of there being... Because, like, I didn't love the Elektra subplot, some parts of that.
Yeah, wasn't the biggest fan of that. But
I would describe it as mixed, right? But here I'm not getting any whiff of any subplot or like plot line that I'm going to be like, I didn't love that part, right? Everything seems to be pumping, so
yeah,
I'm feeling good about it. Keep making good things.
I think that's everything in this episode. Yeah. All right, guys, that's this episode of Daredevil. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.